Independent newspaper is a powerful showcase for news, opinion, and advertising. A newspaper is not just for reporting news as it is, but to make people mad enough to do something about it. And that's why a Morning Zoo will ensure that you run mad as you get to review on our newspaper. Good morning and welcome to your favorite show, Morning Zoo, being on a Monday, 16th June. Now, this morning, we are going to major on two magazines or newspaper, that is the Standard and the Daily Nation. And just to brief you on what is on the cover page, the Standard, they say shameless top cops. Shameless top cops. And of course, you can see four gentlemen below that headline. And of course, we can tell three are police officers because of the recognition of the uniform they are wearing. Now, the far end, it is the Inspector General of Police, Douglas Kanja, followed by the DIG, Lagat, and the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, Mohammed Amin, and also Nyaga, who is the spokesperson of police. We shall get to in details to know what is happening. And of course, when you see these men, what comes into your mind? Justice for Ojwang. That is on the Standard. Now, away from that, on the Daily Nation, they are saying exposed as Kenya arms in Sudan. Also, we shall get in details to know what is happening and what is behind these Kenya arms being in Sudan. That we shall experience it on page 2 and page 3 on the Daily Nation. And of course, Taifa Leo, I got attracted with the cover page and with the headline. They are saying Sitampa Mtu Kisu 2027. As he continued to cry that it is one term, he has already said it is two term. Hatampa Mtu Kisu. Alright, we shall get also to know what is happening and in details to discuss on that in Taifa Leo. And of course, today I'm privileged to have three gentlemen who are lecturers in different institutions. I'll be joined by George Kinyanjui, who is an HOD in automotive engineering, and also Mr. Francis Kamau, HOD in plumbing, and also HOD in mass communication, that is Maiwa David. So why don't you join me as I join them in Studio B? But before then, as always, remember, newspaper cannot be defined by the first word news. They got to be defined by the second word paper. My name is Pius. Karibu. Now in Studio B with my experts, and I'm used to have Gen Zs, Jillian Kona millennials, or they are Gen Zs, but they will have to introduce themselves. Far end, I have Mr. George Kinyanjui, who is an HOD automotive engineering, karibu sana. In the middle, I have Mr. Francis Kamau, HOD plumbing, and beside me I have Maiwa David, who is HOD mass communication. Karibuni sana.
Asante.
Now, this is Kings TV. In Morning Zoo, we get to discuss what is happening on the Standard and the Daily Nation, and of course, Minor Taifa Leo. Nanona, you are holding your magazine or your newspaper. I don't know, what do you have for us?
Okay, I have the Standard here with me, and I guess the Standard is amazing newspaper ever for the old days.
All right,
yes.
Mr. Francis.
So, good morning. That is Kamau Francis from Planning Department. With me here, I have the Daily Nation. Today, I've decided not to touch the Standard because I don't have control in anger. So, I've decided to hold this so that you can see how the nation is going.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
I want to say hi to our viewers. My name is George Kinyanjui, and HOD in automotive engineering.
Karibu sana.
Thank you.
I see you also holding Daily Nation.
Yeah, I have a Daily Nation.
All right. Now we'll start with the Standard.
Yes.
I see they are writing shameless top cops. Or what?
Yeah. On the Standard cover page, they have these good banner headlines there. Shameless top corps, whereby you can be able to see the Douglas Kanja, who is the Inspector General of Police. Then we have the Lagat, who is the Deputy Inspector. Then we have Mohammed Amin, the DCI boss, and then the last person we have Monyiri Nyaga, Police Service spokesperson.
Maybe as we kick off, as we start, what across these questions covers across all of you. What do you understand by this term shameless in the position of public trust? Yeah, we start from here.
Okay, so I can be able to say the shameless top cops. Yeah, I guess we have this incident which has already happened, and I guess it is also being spoken everywhere, because if I can see the Daily Nation, you can still see Ojwang is still there, the Ojwang's dead still there. So these are the top police officers or the top police bosses who are up there, and the one who are supposed to make sure that Kenyans are protected, Kenyans they have security. By the end of the day, we see Kenyans are being abducted, Kenyans are being killed. At the end of the day, there's nothing which is being done. For example, if you can talk about the Ojwang's death, because we see, you can be able to see the biggest suspect is the deputy inspector general, the person who is called the Lagat, who is till today he hasn't said anything. Ako tu chini ya maji, yeye amenyamaza, he hasn't said anything. But he's the person who is suspected, and then amekataa ku resign. So and then we have the bosses. We have the inspector general, because we can be able to see that the deputy is under the inspector general. So I guess they can be able to do something to make sure that Kenyans wanapata ile justice at the end of the day. We want to know who are these people, or who is the boss who is instructing these people to go and abduct the Kenyans, because saizi tumefika place that you cannot criticize the government, you cannot criticize an individual in the social media. Ukifanya kitu kidogo hivi, kesho yake unakujiwa, then you just got lost, because Ojwang's death imeleta vitu nyingi sana, and then that's what we're talking about, the shameless boss who are just there doing nothing. They're just there sitting. Yes.
So according to shameless is just people.
They must be ashamed, because most of the Kenyans, we are looking up to them because they're the bosses, they are the leaders. We want to see action being done, but there's no action being done up to date. Ni wale askari wale wadogo wadogo, paka ule watchman wa kufungua cell na kufunga ule ndo anashikwa, but we know there's a big boss there, but these people are not talking. Mostly this deputy Lagat, who is the biggest suspect, ako chini ya maji, the person is not talking, just there. Yes.
Maybe I come to you, Mr. Francis. What do you understand shameless in public trust?
Let me just start with the start. Last month, the member of parliament of Kasipul was killed. And within 2 days or 3 days, they had captured everything. They had captured the CCTV footages. And I think by now they know the killer. And that is a case in the court, so I won't talk much about it. Let me now come to the shameless top cops. The first person, it is the Inspector General of Police, that is the Douglas Kanja. When you think about Douglas Kanja, he's a person who should tell us who ordered the police, who took now the Albert Ojwang from his home to Nairobi. Number two, it is the Eliud Lagat. The Eliud Lagat, it is said that Albert Ojwang was arrested because he had posted something about Eliud Lagat. And the post was all about that Lagat is corrupt.
But remember on that post, they didn't say the boss.
Yes. So whichever that okay, according to the post, because I saw the post, it is something like he's corrupt. Higher. Now let's go to the DCI boss. The people who arrested the people who arrested Albert Ojwang, they are the DCI. And when the DCI was summoned by the parliament, he said that he followed Albert Ojwang arrest, and he said that even in Narok, Albert Ojwang was given some soft drinks. Now the question follows from Narok, what happened? Because kama hadi Narok alipatiwa soft drinks, mbona hukujua time ya kukufa? You see? Now we have the last person, that is the Moshiri Nyaga, and he's a spokesperson of the police service, the police service. Haya, according to the information that the spokesperson is giving, today anapatiana information, tomorrow anapatiana a different information. So why are they not telling us the truth? Who is telling the truth? Who's lying? Are we together? So when I'm talking about the shameless cops, for instance, this Eliud Lagat, kumekuwa na maandamano, I think last week on Thursday, and I think also on Friday. So, according to the demonstration, the demonstrators are saying that Eliud Lagat should step aside so that the investigation can happen. Because there is no way I can investigate Mr. George, whereas he's still in the department. Are we together? He may interfere with the people who are doing the investigation. Why can't he just step aside, the investigation be done? If after the investigation we see he has no problem, he'll just come back to his position. Are we together? And now, another thing about Douglas Kaja is another, you can say he's also shameless, because why can't he direct that his deputy, now Eliud Lagat, just step aside? After the investigation, he'll come back. Haya, about Mohammed Amin, on my view on, of him being shameless is, you can't tell. I remember he was saying, when he was summoned by the parliament, he said that this guy, Ojwang, was in, the time he was saying that he was in prison is the time that the cops were seen in Lagat hospital. So you can see, still he doesn't know what he's saying, and if he knows, he's lying. You see? Yes. Now that's all I can say about the shameless top cops.
All right, Mr. Kinyanjui, I don't know how you understand the term shameless in public trust.
Okay, so thank you so much for that question. So on my view, and I would like to take this as a general overview. The reason why they have chosen that as a topic, we can talk about the entire security system is at risk. Why do I say that? We have this trending issue that is for killing the Ojwang, and now the bosses, they have not responded. They have not given any justice to the victim. And when you take another reason why you say that the entire security system is at risk here in Kenya, you find that the bill, let me touch on of which we are going back there. We have the financial bill that was released the other day. When you check on the security, on the budget, the allocation, they have been able to get, I don't know, it's around 420 billion. Okay? That means they are keeping on adding money to the security system, and yet our security system is not working at all. Okay? They are not responsible for the common mwananchi. We have seen from the Daily Nation, our firearms are being used to fight in another country. What does that mean? The same security system. Okay? The bosses are also the responsible people in that area. Okay? Because you can't tell me that they are not aware that the Kenyan weapons or the Kenyan Defense Force or the police service, their weapons are being used and they don't know. Okay? So we can talk of them being shameless at all.
Talking of security agencies, we've seen this cabinet secretary for the Ministry of Interior. Can you compare Kipchumba Murkomen Matiang'i? Dogo, we are seeing that Kipchumba, even he is no longer where to be seen in terms of security. Kipchumba
Murkomen, that person is supposed to resign, in fact. I saw he was in Senate last time, and then he was asked the question, and then he said that he doesn't know. He knows nothing. So what kind of a person is that? What kind of a leader is that? Kenyans are dying. Kenyans need security. And then you're the CS, and then you pretend like you don't know what is happening. This is the life of somebody which was taken. Okay, and then you as the CS, you don't know what is happening. I guess this government, from the top up to the down there, kuna ule mtu mmoja mwenye ameketi pale anapatiana. There's that boss mwenye anapatiana orders. So even the CS is under that boss. So the CS must follow whatever that boss is talking about.
Who is the boss?
We don't know. Now that is the question. We don't know who is the boss. We don't know who is the boss. Because to an extent whereby you can see the CS himself. Well, I guess in you Senator wa Kakamega alimuuliza hiyo swali. Anaitwa nani huyu? Anaitwa nani? Ndio akamwambia you must resign because you don't Halwale. Akamwambia you must resign because you don't know, because this is the life of a certain person which is taken. Then you've been asked them, I don't know. What kind of a leader is that? Yeah, what kind of a leader? So you cannot compare Matiang'i and Murkomen is just a useless person. Let me use that word.
All right. Coming to you, Mr. Francis,
Yes.
you said something of Ojwang posting in social media.
Yes.
And again, we see this person was a teacher, and his case is somehow affecting the police service. He's a teacher, this is the case of police service. And again, I don't think him going ahead of posting something could lead to his death. Do you think he had a secret of this policeman?
You know what happens is, according to the 2010 Constitution, we as Kenyans, we have power to access information. And, but I think the government is so much reckless. And corruption is just happening, and that nothing happens. So long as you're in government, nothing happens. Because, for instance, now this is the DIG. You can see the DIG being in a corrupt case, so long as there's in DIG, then there's in mtu ya serikali. So what happens? You see, then if you check on these if you compare the death of the member of MP for Kasipul and this Ojwang, you can see this is a son of a peasant. You see, this is a son of a peasant. This is a leader. You see, so. I heard there was this guy called, I think, Musioko or something. He was paid 3,000 to interact with the CCTV footage.
3,000?
We can't even be told who paid this person. Why was he paid? You see? Why was he paid? Then, where did this money come from? Are you?
Because I guess you can know where the money came from.
Nowadays we have something called the digital footprints. The digital footprints, even if you delete something, we shall still see. So the question comes, if that is now, unajua we are like, unajua, in case ushikwe hapa kwa barabara bila kitu, we don't know. You say the next second, where will you be? Are we together? So all I can say is this, and you can see that this guy, the Kipchumba Murkomen, is another problem. We have transferred problem from one department to another. I think he started as sports, transport, from transport to and all those departments, all those ministries. We have seen him failing. Why is the government? Why is the problem still keeping these people? If a person is a performer, either he helped you to win or to campaign during your presidential election, just give him another job that does not need a lot of qualifications. See at the idea kama we have this the state house whichever. Kina Moses Kuria. The presidential advisor. If he's a presidential advisor in security matters, I have not that.
Imagine Murkomen advising the president now.
It's better because see, we have seen. I think the president now have a number of advisors. I don't know.
17. He has the highest.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
almost 20.
What we are saying is this: that we must fight justice for Albert Ojwang. We must fight justice for him. And the only way why we can do this is by Lagat either resigning, because he's the complainant in this case, either he resign or he step aside. Then after that, the investigation should be done. Yes.
Maybe as we wind up on that story, what do you think are the reforms to be proposed to prevent these incidents in future? Yes, Mr. George.
So that is to prevent this from happening
in future.
In future. So one thing I would try to suggest is that the entire we need a reshuffle. We need a reforming, a serious one, starting from the big bosses as they appear from this standard. Something should be done. Okay? Maybe starting from the minister himself. We should look for more qualified people to perform the job. Okay? You have compared the former interior minister, that is Matiang'i, and the current one. Those are two people that you cannot be able to compare at all. Starting from the performance. Those days, we didn't have these issues.
Even if there was about the Rivayala thing, but it was not that too much like what we are seeing right now.
Yeah, it was not that much. Okay? We have seen a lot of issues, others upcoming issues about the same security department. So, for my case, we need a serious reshuffle, and we replace all of them, so that you can be able to protect the common knowledge.
Okay, maybe
one more lastly for me is we have the IPOA, the Independent Police Oversight Something. How independent is IPOA? Who is interfering with IPOA? So IPOA, it's a department that should be independent. When it's the department that is correcting our statements from the police. So in case a police have anything contrary to what they are supposed to do, they should be aligned in court. And when you are aligned in court, your salary should be on hold. Yes.
Maybe to ask a question that cut across all of you, and you just say yes or no. We've seen Gen Z shed blood. Yes. Do you think these policemen, these top cops, are affecting the bloodshed of the Gen Z starting from last year?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
I would also say yes.
All right. Thank you so much, our viewer. Let us not dwell on that story. We go to Daily Nation. Now Kenya is exposed.
This country is full of so many things. Kutoka tu tuambiwe mama mboga anapanda juu. Till today, me I guess as a normal Kenyan, me have not seen that much with this government which has done. Because every single day, being Kenyans, normal Kenyans are suffering down there, and yet we are wasting a lot of money doing nothing. Because when we're talking about Kenya exposed, because it is the banner headline here on the Daily Nation, so Kenya's arms in Sudan war. I guess my friend here, Bwana George, have talked about it. So how comes here in Kenya, when you go to Kerio Valley, there in Kerio Valley, Kenyans are dying with bandits each and every single day. We don't have there's no what and what and what, and yet you can be able to manage to take our arms to Sudan. So it raises a lot of questions. Our president is failing somewhere, because hakuna vile kitu inaweza fanyika Sudan and the president doesn't know about it. So it means that president knows exactly what is happening. The RFS thing, because that is the thing that is happening kule Sudan. The person understands, because I remember very well kuna wakati hata alikuwa mawasamoni hapa hivi Nairobi, and it raises a lot of questions. So Kenya, I don't know where we're going. Yeah, we are just stranded.
And maybe to ask, who do you think is authorizing these arms to pass through Mombasa to Sudan? Who is the boss?
So the boss, that's what I'm saying. If the arms are already in Sudan, so it starts up there. So it starts up there, because hakuna vile president wetu hawezi kuwa anajua how Kenya's arms ijefika Sudan, because he is aware. He must be aware. And then, because we're talking about the shameless top cops, Kenya is a corrupt country. So corruption starts from up there. up to down here. So our police lazima wanajua. These top cops, because we have the NIS, because kazi ya NIS ni kuchunguza kila kitu kinafanyika. So hakuna vile NIS wanaweza kosa kuwa wanajua. These are the people that they know exactly what is happening. Yes.
We once saw Gachagua, the former deputy president, talking to one of the media, and he said the deal between president and Sudan, it is being done by president. Does it mean this man knows a lot of things which president is doing?
So unajua Gachagua alikuwa kwa serikali. So he's a truthful man. He was in the government. Yes.
He's quite equipped with information. I can add on that. So, Kenya being exposed, we have the president, who is His Excellency William Ruto. He's the commander-in-chief. And him being the commander-in-chief, he is accountable for all the reports that the entire security defense forces, the Kenya police uses. He is accountable. He is responsible for them. So having Kenyan weapons being used in the Sudan, he must be aware. He has taken part. Okay? And there is no way you can tell us that he's not aware. That means he is not in charge. He's not able to oversee the entire security system. So that means the Kenya, we can talk of us being at risk, all of us. We are not safe anymore.
Maybe to come to you, Mr. Francis, what is the impact of Kenya involvement with Sudan?
Let me first start with how Kenya is exposed in the Sudan war. There is a cargo that was transited from and it had some firearms, and it was labeled Kenya. When a cargo labeled Kenya was seen in Sudan, that tells that it's a cargo from Kenya or purchased by Kenya or something like that, but it belongs to Kenya but in wrong nation because it is in Sudan. Number two, the cargo, it is not used by the government of Sudan. It is used by the opposition of Sudan, that is the Rapid Support Forces, that is the RSF. And I remember there is earlier this year, the president of Kenya was seen in State House with the commander of RSF. Then February this year, we saw the RSF led by the deputy commander. They had a meeting in KICC, and questions arised. Is Kenya behind the opposition of Sudan? But the minister of Mudavadi, the prime secretary, the prime cabinet secretary said that Kenya has no involvement, that they only had to hire a room for meeting. But can you give KICC to people who are fighting their country? To me, I don't see that's right. So again, this nation newspaper, they did a research for the last 6 months. The firearms that the RSF are using, and they noticed that the firearms are not from the West. They are from either Russia, those countries. And you can see that is where we get our firearms. You see? So, and so we can see that I don't think it's okay for Kenya's government to have involvement in such, because they should bring unity in that country. They should not help in fighting.
So there is no impact.
There is no impact. Yes. There is no way that Kenya is benefiting. Yes, there is no way. In fact, we are spoiling our name outside there. Yes.
You know, they say in every problem there must be a solution. What do we have to do to prevent these incidents in future?
Which incident?
This cooperation of Sudan, Kenya.
So unajua Sudan hakuna kitu sasa inatusaidia nayo in fact. Oh, is there anything that we're gaining from Sudan?
I can say there is.
Yes.
Because agricultural is Sudan, due to this fight, they must eat, and they get their food from Tanzania. So we can see the food that come from Tanzania to Kenya, they have now reduced. So the Kenya's food, they now used here. So in terms of at least farmers are getting something. Yes.
Alright. Maybe too sasa tunamalizia na taifa leo because time is really done. So we were saying something of preventing this action and incidents in future.
Okay, I guess for us to be able to present this kind of things, just to have good governance. Yes, just make sure that we have good leaders, leaders who are there to help the people. Unajua, as a leader, ukiwa kama leaders and then kazi yako unafikiria tu vile wale watu wengine watapigana, because we are here to make sure that everyone kila mtu anakaa kwa amani, and then for us to be able to grow this Africa of ours, because the moment wazungu wanaona sisi tunapigana huku, that's the advantage, wanafurahi, because that's the time that wanakuja kuchukua rasilimali zetu. See what is happening in Congo, because Congo, they are never in peace. And then the more they fight, the more these whites are wanafurahia, because Congo is full of so many things. Congo imejawa, wamebarikiwa na rasilimali nyingi, gold, diamonds, so many things. So to make sure that tumeondokea hizi vitu vingine, just make sure that in future tuwe na good leaders who are there to make sure that we grow and we prosper. Yes.
Mr. Kinyanjui, what are your views? Do we have the solution of preventing such incidents in future?
Yes, we have it. And the best solution for that is to ensure accountability. Before we have leaders, we ensure that they are able to conduct task, they're able to complement task, not just choosing a leader simply because tunajuana, and that is the thing that is affecting us at all. Okay? Unapata the leaders that we have, we are choosing them simply because they supported me somewhere. Okay? Then it's payback time. So what's happening, you find that when you choose that leader, he's not able to perform at all. He's not aware of what he's reading at all. So accountability should be the first priority, we can say.
All I can say is that a president must be a Pan-African. By this, he must ensure that we live in peace. We should stand as Africans as one thing. We don't have to fight one another. And in case there is a fight between the government and opposition, let that country deal with the problems. That does not involve us as an African. So the president of Kenya, we don't have to involve in those
small petty
in those fights. Our fight in Kenya should be, how should we start industries in Kenya? How should we industrialization in Kenya, East Africa and Africa? Number 2, infrastructure. And I mean about the connectivity of electricity and road networks. You see, that in case you have a cargo in Sudan, you can easily transit it to Kenya with Those are the things that we have to fight as Kenyans or as Africans. We don't have to fight at the how wanapigan. And in fact, you can't even tell the reason why they are fighting. Because there must be that person who's taking advantage of that fight. You see, because for fight to start, that means there is a disagreement, and we have various ways which we can use to solve our issues. We don't have to fight. So we are supposed to deal with. We as Africans, we have very many youths in Africa who are going for Gulf countries to look for green pastures. In Kenya, in Africa, we are too much blessed. We have everything we require. So let us improve in industrialization, infrastructure, and bring reforms that are going to help people or Africans. So that is in case you want to bring maize from Tanzania to Kenya, on the border, hautakuwa na shida kubwa ya kuleta. No. Those duties should be checked again, so that we make this a good business environment to Africans. That is what I can say.
Alright. Thank you so much, our viewer. Remember, you can keep us in touch through our social media platforms: Facebook, Kings TV, YouTube, Kings Fraternity. And with me, I have Mr. George Kinyanjui, HOD Automotive Engineering, and also Mr. Francis Kamau, HOD Plumbing, and Maiwa David, HOD Mass Communication. Now, we cross over to Taifa Leo. Naona kidogo wanasema kwamba hapeani kisu 2027. And maybe I ask a question that cut across all of you. Are you one term or two term?
Hiyo tutaongelea on that time. But me as a Kenyan, me kama Mkenya wa kawaida, mimi najua mimi Mkenya wa kawaida mimi ndo nafinyika. So I guess coming 2027 kuwe vile kutakuwa, we must have a new government. The government that is the government inatuleka pale inashughulikia Mkenya wale wa kawaida. Tulidanganywa na tukachezewa, because nakumbuka I guess this person alikuwa na ile sympathy votes alikuwa anafanywa. So sisi wa Kenya tukaona this is the person for us. Huyu ni mtu mwenye anakuja kutukamua, huyu ni mtu mwenye anakuja kutuletea nini. Sasa hizi look at this country. This country wakati wa in terms of health wise there's nothing which is happening. Kuja in terms of education there's nothing which is happening. Kwanza sasa hizi education hata walipata budget kidogo sana imekatwa. From next year wazazi wataanza kulipia exam fee, which is something that kutoka since 2002 wakati wa Kibaki, this is the first time it quite happened. This is the first time now this government inafinyilia ule Mkenya wa kawaida, and yet this person alituambia akikuja hii serikali ni ya mama mboga, hii serikali ni ya mtu wa boda boda, hii serikali ni ya nani? Ni ya hustler. Sasa hizi it's the opposite. So mimi kama Mkenya wa kawaida, I don't see any reason to vote ama to elect this person again. I don't see any. Hata kama kutakuwa kitu watafanya, but I guess Kenyans right now wamechoka, ground tumechoka. Mimi kama mimi mwenyewe, mimi as a person nimechoka. Hata ukienda huko ground kila mtu amechoka. Because health, hata saizi hata mtu akaenda hospital. Let me talk more about the health issues. Hata saizi kuna hii kitu ya SHA. Mimi by then register SHA na sijaitumia. Because for me it doesn't help. Ukienda hosi you have to use your own money from the pocket to pay. Juzi umesikia mambo ya SHA, saizi umeambiwa if you want to use it you have to pay a whole year for you to be able to access the health. Hakuna haya kuja madaktari, kuja inside of madaktari wa live on time. There is no medicine. You see, there's a lot of problems in this government.
I think you've answered my question.
Yes.
That is one term. Two term, one term.
Okay. Let me say that I'm a one-term diehard. And I can give the reasons why I am a one-term.
Your cousins.
Yes, I'm a cousin. Everyone supporting one-term. We are cousins. So long as you are supporting one-term, we are cousins.
Why not two-term?
The reason why, kama huyu mtu anadanganya hadi baba hii wakati sasa ya moyo wakasema hakutakuwa na extrajudicial killing,
still happening.
Anadanganya hiyo kitu, mimi ni nani? Number two, let's talk about the health sector. Health sector, there is many issues that is going around the health sector. Yes, SHA is working, but is working for inpatient. When you are for outpatient, it is not working well. You have to pay. Number two, we have education. Once you mess up with education, you're making fools. And let me just talk about the tertiary education, and especially the TVETs. For TVETs, there was a system. It was governed, or it was examined by either Kenya National Examination Council, NEC, NITA, or ICM, and some has the intern. Nowadays, NEC has gone. They are done with NEC. So we have something called the CDAC. Then, after CDAC, they saw CDAC is not doing well, so they brought something called the modularized curriculum. After modularized curriculum, we also have another thing that is called the dual training. So you can see, students are confused everywhere. But for our case at Petans Technical College, at least we have tried to stick with with NITA and ICM, because this type of modularized and dual training, IT it's really messing up with our education system, and especially in Tibet. So I don't. That is another thing that we have to check. Number 3, infrastructure. My home, our home. We have in our region, we have the Mau roads. Hiyo barabara imepita tu hapo kwetu home. Na walikuja wakachimba wakaiacha hivyo. So as a Kenyan, that's another reason why I see hiyo lies hapana. So let me now go back to sitapatiana kisu. Yesterday Ruto, he was attending a church service in Western, and he said that mimi sitapatiana uongozi ama kisu kwa yule mtu wale opposition. Now the question is, kwenye anaona atashindwa. Unajua ukisema sitakupatia that is that he has said, and which are these things zenye ameweka, ni mikakati gani ameweka kuhakikisha hatapatiana even after kushindwa, unaona. So who was there was saying I would not hand over leadership to, or the sword to Ruto, but he later did, because it is according to our constitution, once a presidential candidate ameshinda, the sitting president has no other much ado. It is only giving the sword to the president-elect. So I think hiyo si kitu ya kunishtua mimi, as long as, because kuna matamshi Gachagua alikuwa anashukiwa sana when he said that if the IBC tries to lead with the elections, 2007 will be like a Christmas party. Okay, leave around that. When Ruto anasema sitapatiana kisu, that says he might even lead the elections. Unaona? And let me tell you something. According to the generation that we have, they are fearless. The only thing they fear is only fear. And at the moment, and these are the people who can even count the votes. They can even hack the portal, the system. So the moment they see that this person ameshindwa na bado amiliki elections, let me tell you something. You saw last year what happened. It was not all about election. Now you can imagine if that was last year, June 25, when everything was in a mess in Nairobi, in various parts of this. In fact, maandamano ilikuwa huko Kiambu. So what will happen if the elections are leaked? I'm telling you, it will be bad. So let us follow the constitution, and let's do as the constitution says, because the article 1 of constitution says that power belongs to the people and shall be performed as per the constitution. So the power belongs to the people, and the people is a Kenyan voter.
Mr. Kenyan, in just 1 minute, 2-term, 1-term.
So my stand, I decided to join the Kazi movement. So you know where I am. And the reasons is simply because I contributed in making this government in Ikosai, and it's not working. Karibu nirudi Geshagi.
Na ukaenda Kasarani sio
ushoga na kaenda Kasarani siku ya kuapisha.
And for that reason, and they have mentioned a lot of sectors where there is nothing happening at all. Okay? And for the president, talking of he will not give up the sword, that is incitement. Okay? Simply because we are aware that Gen Zs are well informed, okay? And they can be able to react on that. So, and to finalize on it, we need to put the government at task. We need to question it, and they need to do something.
All right, thank you.
Maybe to prove someone, hii miaka mbili imebaki, maybe to prove wrong. Maybe to prove wrong. But akiendelea na hii miendelea nayo.
Alright, just going through your views, I see Eunice saying, are these cops above the law? James Samuel saying, someone is earning 0.5 billion in Kenya where people were born lucky. Joss Jr. anakuchokoza, anasema mpatiwe mtu katikati ndevu. Asante sana na she anasema Freud from Kelicho wameamuliwa hawa jamaa Harold. Thank you so much. We have a lot of things to say, but because of time naona director anatuharakisha tena zaidi. Maybe in just 1 minute each. Just say something as you wind up.
Oh, so me I can say I can urge Kenyans tusipige kelele tu hapa hivi nje tukisema one time make sure tumetoka pale hivi nje tumechukua votes and then amebakisha mwaka wa pili bado jesha amebakisha kama tuseme like 3 years so give him some time tuone kama atafanya kazi kwa hizo miaka 2 atakuwa amefanya lakini wa Kenya I have to urge Kenyans tusitumike vibaya and then tusikubali kujanganywa. So we have to choose leaders who are supposed to help us at the end of the day. Amaiwa David, we can see you next time.
Thank you so much.
Hiya, so my last word is this. Let me say that Kenya is our motherland. We don't have any other Kenya apart from this. We shouldn't mess up with anything to do with Kenya. Let us live in love, let us live in unity. Because the moment we mess up with Kenya, we're messing up with lives and generations. This nation, people fought, people shed blood just to save Kenya. And we should rise up to stand with anyone who's fighting Kenya. We should stand up to we unite as Kenyans, as Gen Zs, as young people to put impunity at risk. We have to ensure that corruption has no room in Kenya. We have to ensure that we are living in love, harmony, peace, and ensuring that we are putting government into task because that is what they were called to do. Thank you so much. I'm Kamo Francis, Plumbing HOD.
Thank you so much.
Goodbye.
Yes, mine will be simple, and I would like to urge all Kenyans to maintain peace. We are all cousins.
All right.
I'm George Kenyanjui, HOD Automotive.
You said we are all cousins, but we are not all of us are not cousins. You know, there are others who are
They form their cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
They are not
thank you so much, our viewers, for having us. This was your favorite morning zoo, and I was with George Kinyanjui, Mr. Francis Kamau, and also Mr. Maiwa David. Till next time, tomorrow we will have Felix Mbogo on set, and we will just meet next time. And thank you so much for your views and for having us in a morning zoo show. My name is Pius Karuki. Have yourself a good day.